Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. So I wanted to share a story with you about the time I bought a coaching program from a coach who had some recent not so great reviews. In fact, public not so great reviews from trusted friends and colleagues that I dearly love and absolutely respect their opinions. And I still bought the program. I still bought the coaching program from this coach that had not so great reviews. Here's why. Because I make my own decisions, right? I get to decide myself. And the minute that I give my power away to somebody else's opinions or experience, I have robbed myself of my ability to make and trust my own judgment and decisions. And I also miss the opportunity to have my own experience. Because here's the thing. People's experiences, if you haven't figured this out by now, or if you don't understand or do much nervous system or trauma work, everyone's experiences are based on their lived perception. So not always the facts. Threats can be both real or perceived in the body. And once you start to understand nervous system and trauma work, you recognize that everybody is having a valid experience according to their body and their experience, but it doesn't have to be mine. It didn't have to be my experience. I was like, you know what? I feel called by this program. I am not going to let somebody else change my mind. Did it make me hesitate for a moment? Sure. I sat and I thought, oh, I wonder if I want to invest with this coach. Like, yikes, if that's true. But I don't know if it's true. And I don't subscribe to she said. So I don't fucking need to know both sides and how is it for you? Because I'll never know all the ins and outs. In fact, have you ever talked with a couple that's gone through a divorce? They were both in the same relationship together, but both have entirely different experiences based on how that relationship came to a closure. Like that, it's totally subjective. It's based on their individual experience, even though they were in the same house, in the same container, in the same relationship. Wildly different experiences. You're like, okay, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to speak for my ex-husband. He and I have a great relationship, but I'm going to guess that his experience was very different than mine, going through a divorce. And yet we were both in the same relationship, in the same house, and even the people involved in it never fully know all the sides. Because I'm not him, and he's not me. And he doesn't know what it's like to walk with my own pain and wounds and stories, just like I don't know what it's like to walk with his pain and wounds and stories and beliefs. I'll never know that, and he'll never know what it's like to walk with mine. So we have to use a certain level of discernment when we see reviews like that. Here's the other thing. Fuck cancel culture. People are so ready to point a finger and be up in arms about something. And I think honestly, it's telling about them more than who they're doing the canceling to. And I don't subscribe to that either. And there's science behind it. There's science to attuning our nervous system to a collective group. It is a tribal sense of belonging, and belonging is one of our top needs based on Maslow's hierarchy, just right above food and shelter. So the desire to belong is a survival mechanism, and it's where we have to be careful that, who we spend our time with, we are also attuning to their nervous system. So are we being enrolled in somebody else's truth, or is this your truth based on your own experience? And when I sat and I asked myself that question before I bought this program from this coach, I never had an experience like that of this coach. I had no reason to not buy it. And I decided I'm not a woman who gets enrolled in other people's truths. I create my own based on my own lived experiences through the lens that I live my life. And let me tell you, I'm so grateful that I decided to do that because I loved this program. It actually ended up being an extremely valuable program. I really liked the coach. I loved everything that she taught in this program. And I just thought, damn, like I could have missed out on that had I let someone else's experience dictate one that I had yet to live. And so just because someone else has that as their experience does not mean that it has to be yours. Yeah. And I mean, there's a quote that comes to mind here too. And one of my favorite quotes is, "Your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me." So from that place, who's to say what the truth even is? Your perception of me is a reflection of you, right? And my reaction to you is an awareness of me. Write that down. How does that feel in your body? The minute I want to point a finger or look outside of myself, I'm like, no. What is this showing me about me? What is this showing me about myself? What is the greater gift here? Whether it be through healing or curiosity, what is this trying to show me about me? And then I ask myself the following questions, right? Because I want to evaluate, like let's say you want to invest with a coach and you find yourself in the same situation. The questions I might ask myself so that I can be an educated buyer is, if these reviews were true, again, that's subjective because based on what? Their experience, not mine. Is this coach committed to growth? Well, this particular coach I knew was committed to growth. She talks about it all the time. What kind of support and counsel does this coach receive? Well, I knew that she absolutely was getting support, which means if this were true, I'm going to guess she's unpacking it, reworking it, and trying to better herself, because that's what investing in long-term coaching and mentorship does. And I knew that she has been working with a coach for years. So yeah, and she has got a good track record overall. Are you going to please everybody? No, you won't. You won't have happy clients all the time. You might have people that regret investing. You might have people that love it. Like, you're going to have people, especially the more people you serve, you're going to have not 100% track record. You just are. So, and that's okay. The other question I had asked myself was, how do I plan on showing up to this container? I'm the one making the investment, so I definitely plan on being fully committed, fully coachable, and fully open, right? I am not going to take whatever preconceived notions or take other people's projected experiences. I'm not going to take the truths that they want to enroll other people into. I'm not going to take that with me into this container. This is my investment. This is my experience, and I get to decide how I feel about it based on my experience there. And then the last thing is, if something upsets me, what do I get to get curious about? What is this revealing about me? So if there's something that's not sitting great, or I'm triggered about something, which didn't happen necessarily in this container with this coach, I probably was more triggered around reading the posts about it because it made me second guess my desire to buy this program. I was like, what is this saying about me? Now, this is saying I'm not trusting my judgment. This is saying I'm questioning my ability to make a decision that's good for me. This is revealing to me that I'm open to being enrolled in other people's truths instead of creating my own. So that's when I decided that no, I was going to go forward with this investment anyway. So it was great. And I don't know if you find yourself in the same space. There's a lot of coaches, and oftentimes I think, myself included, when I've made investments, I've asked myself, like, ooh, did I make the right investment? Like, will this work for me? I think we've all been there with every coach. But the thing is I always get exactly what I came for because I decided to. There was a mastermind that I invested in a couple years ago. I don't really know that I knew what I was signing up for exactly, but I did know that I wanted to uplevel my social circle and surround myself with other people doing really cool things. And it definitely did that. And it actually provided me with things that I didn't intend to receive, which was like a bonus. So I always get what I came for, even if it's not really what I invested in from the beginning. It upleveled me in ways I couldn't have imagined and better. So that was great. And then, there's I think a lot of the time we're wondering, like, is this person really who they say they are? Are they legit? Are they credible? Like, are they a good coach? You're going to get a mixed bag of reviews with every coach, especially the bigger their audience is. So take that with a grain of salt, right? Look at their track record. How do they treat their team? What does their team represent? How do they treat people behind closed doors? What about long-term clients that they've had? What do those clients say about this coach? So take it all into consideration when you make a very powerful decision, because that decision is totally in your hands. You get to have your own experience. And again, it doesn't have to be me that you're investing with. You can invest in any coach. But when you make that decision to uplevel yourself, like, yeah, it's scary. It can be really scary making an investment. Maybe it's for the first time. Maybe it's for the second or third time. Maybe you do this all the time. But I at least for me, it has been scary at every level to invest. And I think I still have moments, whether it be in the container or in the first few days, where you're like, ooh, did I make the right decision? But I just have to come back and trust like why I said yes to begin with. And if I can stay connected to my why, that all goes away and I always get what I came for. So for whoever this message is meant for, I hope it finds you. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you here next week on Literally First Class. I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon. Seriously though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.